welcome to Tales from the Tips. I'm DA alongside 15-year tour caddy Mick Middlemo. We're just a couple of guys that love to talk about the game of golf, both inside and outside the ropes, but we come at it from a different perspective. Yes, Mick, that was a big Monday night win for our Falcons. We will touch on our NFL, how we've been doing in the NFL. But like that, Mick, streaks are over.
It's over on the ladies' tour.
It is over on the ladies' tour. Xander gets his first win of 2025. We finally have a second-time winner on the LPGA Tour as world number one gets it done on the fifth playoff hole. There are 20 new faces coming to the PGA Tour as the Korn Ferry wrapped up the Tour Championship last weekend. And Mick, guess what? Some things never change.
What's that?
You're leading in the picks.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Well, after this year, after the majors, I felt really good about my picks this year, even though you stole my answers.
No, I did not steal your answers. That is a filthy lie.
That is on video. We have it.
Filthy lie. Why would if I would steal your answers, I wouldn't be winning.
I had to make changes. Anyway, so are you ready to talk about all this?
I'm ready.
I do have a curveball coming too.
Oh.
We're going to get in depth a little bit about the LPGA.
Okay.
So, sir,
my six tournaments that I caddied on for there, I should be an expert on it.
You are an expert in the subject matter. Plus your buddy Brandel Chambly continues to run his mouth about Bryson. So, with that, let's grip it and rip it.
Let's go.
Okay. So we're going to start PGA Tour wrapped up in Japan. Xander gets his first win of 2025. A tough year for Xander, and he even mentioned that in his post-round comments. Did you have a chance to see any of the tournament, and did you hear?
I watched the highlights. He actually played really nicely.
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Grayson was going to win it. But no, he played nicely down the stretch.
It looked like Xander of old.
It did, because he hasn't really played well this year.
He's had moments. He's had moments. He hadn't put a tournament together.
Yeah, by his standards, it was probably a disappointing season.
Yeah, he said he's getting back. If you heard his post-round comments after the win, he said he's gonna, that was it. He's gonna wrap it up, and now he's gonna get back to working and grinding. And I know you and I've talked about what it's like to put the work in the off season. And we're getting into off season time, and we're going to talk about that. But is there sometimes too much that can go into it? Too much tinkering?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, you know what golf's like. It's the mentally the worst game ever. We're all tinkering with something, and the pros are no different. I mean, all the years I caddied for Trip Eisenhower out there, I mean, he was tinkering with something every week. I mean, there was not a week go by where he's like, oh, I'm going to try this week, or I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try this. And he had more gadgets on the range than he looked like Mr. Gadget on the range. He had things stuck down his pants and markers and line up things everywhere. It was like just
careful there,
things hanging from his hat, and I mean, it was bizarre.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. You've mentioned that you've incurred a little penalty on the range or out on the course because of all of his toys in his bag.
Yeah, truth. Yeah, Greensboro. True story. We were in the. He had a weighted club that he would go out and swing, and he would swing it every morning and on the range, and that was his thing. And then he would take it back to the locker room, and he would put it in his locker, and away we went. And on the Sunday, we were in third place. So we were in the second last group, and he had his weighted club, and we started walking back to the clubhouse, and he stopped and spoke to somebody. I went off and did my thing and whatnot, and I came back and picked up the clubs, and he hit his first tee shot, and then I walked down the fairway and noticed that the club was still in the bag.
And you did the right thing, sir.
He for a while he blamed me for it. For about 6 holes, he blamed me that I should have noticed, and I probably should have. I didn't even hesitate looking. There was another player in the group who noticed it but didn't say anything because he wasn't 100% sure what it was. So, but I thought he had taken it to the locker. He did. He had it in his hand, and then when he started talking to the person outside the locker room, he put the club in the bag, and then obviously things got a little. We all went a little sidetracked, and a little two-stroke penalty there. But I think we still finished third or fourth. But I don't think it. Well, I don't think it helped our mindset at the start of the tournament. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start the round with a little extra, a couple extra strokes without even swinging a club on it.
Not the first time it happened to me either. So
yeah, you've had a few of those.
Two.
Huh?
It's happened to me a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what are you? And you and I will get into it probably sometime December, right around the Hero. We'll talk about our picks for our majors this upcoming year. What are your expectations for Xander in 2026?
Well, I think this is just a great way to finish the year. I don't think if he's wrapping up this season, he probably couldn't have finished on a better note. If he had a disastrous tournament, then the tinkering probably would have gone on for all off season and what we're going to work on and what we're going to try and things like that. I've seen some amazing things in the off season where players are like, we're going to revamp the whole swing and we're going to try to do this and do that, and then invariably it really doesn't work that well.
No, because why don't you just stick to what got you there?
Yeah.
I mean, I most of the time I'm trying to get my way back to the way I used to play versus tinkering now. It's
so I said I caddied for a certain player who was 7th in greens in regulation on the PGA Tour and 180th in putting. And I figured that we were going to spend a lot of time on the short game and the putting. And this player invited me down to Orlando for 2 weeks because we're going to work on the, what I figured is short game and putting. We get down there and we're like, well, we're going to rebuild the whole golf swing. And my thoughts were, well, why are we doing that? You're 7th on the greens in regulation. You're obviously striping the ball beautifully. No, I'm putting too much pressure on my putter because I'm not hitting it close enough. So I've got to try to hit it closer to put less pressure on my putter. And so we revamped the whole golf swing. And lo and behold, we missed our PGA Tour card the next year, and we finished, I think, 155th on the money list, and we were still 180th in putting. 155th in greens in regulation, and I think 180th in putting. And so that was a tough lesson.
So let me ask you that. Okay, and that's a great. Let me ask you this, because is that a swing coach that gets into the player's head, or is that a
100%?
Yeah,
100%. And the swing coach involved was a very good swing coach and worked with people like Tiger Woods. But sometimes I think they get in the way. And I think it was just too much to try to rebuild a golf swing. I just don't think it wasn't the right decision. I didn't think it was the right decision. I thought that we just had to work on some other little, I thought as good as you're striking the ball and hitting the ball, I think there's a couple of things we could have tightened up. Putting obviously one of them. Short game probably another one. And I think if we had to tighten that up and just improve, a shot around, then things could have turned out a lot different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, he's gone back to his old swing now too.
Has he been working on his putting?
Next question.
Well, all right.
But the amount of times I've seen that happen, and the amount of times that I've seen things like that happen, the amount of times I've seen kids get their PGA Tour cards and they get promised the world by companies. You've been playing golf basically your whole life using TaylorMade, and then Strixon, for instance, will come along and say, here's $500,000 to use my clubs for the year, and off you go use them. And
that $500,000 cost you millions.
That's a bad decision as well.
Yeah, it's funny because you have said this in the past, and when you say that, Max Homa comes to mind. Max started tinkering a year ago with his swing and fought it, to the tail end of last season, and then look at where he's at this year. I think he's like 126 on the list right now. He's got to play the fall series just to. Now, Max doesn't have to worry about keeping his card because he's got exemptions, but still, I mean, I'm sure Max Homa is not sitting at home going, man, I'm the 126th player on the PGA Tour.
No, they're out working, and it's just they're trying to look for something, and it doesn't amaze me because I've seen it with so many players that they're always trying to always get better. They see the Scotty Schefflers of the world and the Rory McIlroys of the world, and they think that they're not capable of beating those guys, so they have to do something different. I have to get better, so I'm going to have to try this. And invariably, trying one thing can make things a lot worse.
Well, but Scotty's even said it though. He does the same routine every single day out on the range, and it starts with his grip.
Yep. Yeah, he's got that gripped club that he uses all the time and puts it on his club, so he knows his grip's right and perfect. I mean, that's a great start, having the right grip, because you heaven forbid we know that you put your hands on the golf club, it could be a little different from one day to the next.
Yeah, especially after you break a wine glass.
Yes.
So
we'll get arrested.
Let's another guy that you have been. I'm going to give you some credit here. You have been all over this guy all year, and you've picked him actually for a couple of tournaments. Marco Penge wins the Spanish Open in Madrid, locks up his tour card for the PGA for 2026 with that, and he gets and a big invite to that little tournament in Augusta and the Open Championship. You've been big on Marco Penge all year. Why have you been so? I mean, you follow him on the DP World Tour. What has made you just? I mean, you have been all over him all year.
Little inside information.
Well, that helps.
That helps. I got a good friend of mine who caddies on the DP World Tour, and he said this guy is going to be the next big thing. So that way I kept an eye on it and stuff like that. So you start to you obviously listen to these guys because you're out there and you'll see a guy. I mean, I remember being out there when Rory first came out, and I was like watching him hit balls on the range, and I was like, yeah, this is different. This is different. You can see it. Even when Jordan Spieth first came out, I was like, this kid's different.
Yeah.
You can see it. You watch the ball flight. You see the way they can maneuver the ball, and you see the swing, and you're like, yeah, this is and the sound is. The sound of it is completely like, that's when you're like, oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, there is a lot.
And one of my buddies has really, really been high on this guy for a long, long time.
So speaking of that, I mean, obviously the DP guys are in India this week. Rory's teeing it up. Good to see Victor Hovland back this upcoming week in India as well. This is the penultimate tournament for the DP.
I didn't look to see which course they were playing.
You know what? Give me a moment while we go through some of that. I'll look that up for us because I don't have it. I just saw that I had heard that Victor was coming back and that he had spoken to the media yesterday regarding the envelope at the Ryder Cup. And you know what? I'll give him a ton of credit. He was out for a couple of weeks. He felt really bad that Harris English couldn't play due to the envelope rule. But he said something very interesting, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. He said the envelope rule, it was created as a gentleman's agreement, basically, with the half point being shared.
Yeah.
My question to you is, and there's rumblings that they may change this, which I hope they don't. Yes, the Ryder Cup has gotten much bigger than an exhibition match, which is the way it was originally created. It was a bunch of guys that just wanted to go out and bet technically against each other. Some that played overseas and they didn't get to see each other very often. Now, do you want to see the rule changed, or do you want to see it stay the same?
Oh no, I'd like to see it stay the same. We've got to keep some sort of semblance of like being a gentleman in this sport. And I think it's fair if someone can't play, then I think just wipe that match off, half a point each, and then move on to the next. Unless you have an emergency.
Yeah.
Unless you have an emergency player, but then then you get to the point where someone's going to fake an injury because he's not playing well, and this guy could come in and do whatever.
So I heard.
I would hope that wouldn't happen, but I mean that would be the only thing I would imagine, that you could have someone there and go, hey, well, we can have an emergency player that someone has to play.
Yeah, and I've heard that other argument saying they could just somebody's all of a sudden has the shanks, so to speak, and all of a sudden, I can't go, and you're bringing in an alternate. I would hate for that to be the case, but these guys will do anything to win.
Well, then you'd have to have a rule, something into place, like if you do pull out through injury, then you can't play on any tour in the world for 8 weeks.
Yeah, you're going to have to do something that's very penal on that side. Yeah. Okay, so speaking of growing the game,
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Like that. We have 20 new faces heading to us from the DP or from the Korn Ferry Tour in last week from French Lick, Indiana. Chandler,
actually, I watched a little bit of that.
I did too. That is some really okay. I'm going to say this. Really good golf. These guys are far more prepared as they come off of the Korn Ferry Tour to join the PGA Tour than they were even 5 years ago.
Well, different courses help too, because when I caddied out there and stuff like that, they were driver. Everything was a driver and a wedge. I mean, it was 7 under, 8 under was the cut, and that wasn't preparing you for the PGA Tour.
No, the differences and course maintenance and you know you're playing on somewhat slower greens and
some of the golf courses we played on were like, really? And some of them, they still play on some of those golf courses.
I was going to say, they still play on some of them. Chandler Blanchette took the Tour Championship last week, but as you clearly stated last week, Jack Kiefer takes the overall title for the Korn Ferry Tour. By the way, Jack Kiefer right now is 51st in golf world rankings.
He will win on the PGA Tour next year.
I was you stole my question from me. Do you think? Let me ask you this, because by the time December 31st rolls around, the top 50 in golf world rankings get an automatic invite to the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Will Jack Kiefer have a Masters invite by the end of this year?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who sits in 50th right now?
No.
Our guy, JT Poston.
Well, he better play some golf in the fall series and well.
I think JT will I know JT will be teeing it up there at Sea Island. I think I've heard that Jack Kiefer may probably get a sponsor invite for that. It'd be nice to see those guys make that last tournament worth a little bit more as you kind of watch those guys come in.
Because the last tournament of the year used to be Disney. It used to be the Disney tournament, and like they basically paired, like it was the last event of the year, so there was a lot of pressure on a lot of guys. But a lot of guys were just like, "This is Disney; they're bringing their families in," and they paired you up in like friends, because we always, when I was caddy for Greg Owen, we were always paired with Justin Rose.
Yep.
So they tried to pair up countrymen, they tried to pair up friends, they tried to make it like a family environment. I'm like, it's kind of weird. This is the last tournament of the year, and I caddy for Daniel Chopa there, and like he's busting to keep his tour card.
Yeah,
amongst others. So yeah, that used to be a really funny, kind of funky event, that one.
Yeah, and I think Sea Island is Davis Love's tournament, if I'm remembering right.
Davis Love, good man.
That tournament is a really good tournament. Your love for him.
It's just so fuzzy and heartfelt.
Yeah, it's your country club stuffy.
Yeah, not a fan.
So want to just wrap up on the Korn Ferry. Some notables earning their full tour status. Obviously, Blanchette slid into the second spot ahead of Austin Smotherland, who will finally get back onto the tour. It's been a few years since Austin was there. Neil Shipley, the OSU grad.
You said that with disdain.
You know what? Here's the thing. I like Neil Shipley.
Even though he went to OSU?
Yeah, I knew.
You don't like anything about OSU.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, listen, one of the world's greatest of all time went there too. I can't, See, my point gets taken. I really like Shipley. I think he's going to be good for the tour. I think he's going to be good for helping. I think Brian Rolap and you and I talked about this last episode. We need to be focused on finding the guys that are going to be superstars, but also be able to carry the game and really be personable. We lost the biggest personality when we lost Bryson DeChambeau from the PGA Tour. Now, I think Brian Roloff is probably working behind the scenes trying to get Bryson back, and I'm pretty sure that they will do that at some point. The best golfer that left, and I think he thought that he was going to make it happen, was Jon Rahm. I do miss watching Jon Rahm play on a weekly basis out on the tour. I'm sure Jon Rahm does not miss playing on a weekly basis out on the PGA Tour. As a matter of fact, he's taking 4 months off. So after the past tournament in Spain, he said he will be teeing it up at the next live event, which is in February. Some other guys, Georgia Tech's Christo Lamprecht, the long hitting Tech guy, Pearson Coody makes it. His
relation of?
Yeah, his brother Parker is a tour caddy, and he's the grandson of Charles Coody. By the way, Mick, did you know this is the first set of brothers to be holding their tour cards since Curtis and Alan Strange?
I did not know that.
So we've got some brothers out there, a little brother on brother feud going on while we're out there.
At least one of the Strange brothers was a good fella.
Which one? Hey, Mick.
Yeah.
You guys, people calling you while you were on this thing.
It was a scam call.
Oh, yeah.
It said scam likely.
Scam. Okay. Okay. So let's do this. Another streak, and you mentioned it at the top. The LPGA streak of single event winners came to an end. Gino Titakun gets it done in Singapore after a 5-hole playoff with Minami Katsu.
She was 4 shots behind with 5 holes to play.
She's pretty good, isn't she?
4 back with 5 to play. Made it got a playoff, and then 5 holes into the playoff. Thanks very much.
So she, if Minami also would have won, she would have been the streak breaker, as she was a part of the tandem that won as well.
So I don't know if we would have counted.
Here's
that.
what I got.
All right, what have we got?
What's that?
What have we got?
Okay, here's what I got for you. What does
the curveball
have to do to build? What?
Is this the curveball you're going to throw at me?
Yes. And you're going to be super zoomed in when you answer the. Okay. Here's what I'm asking you. Are you ready?
Ready.
What does the LPGA have to do to build these players up for the U.S. audience?
Ooh. Can they?
I don't know. Here, let me give you some information. So
like TV ratings are down, obviously.
TV ratings are down. Attendance at events is down. Let me ask you this, and I'm going to let you think about it a little bit more. And here's why I'm asking this. These ladies have some of the most amazing personalities that there is out there. And you have said it firsthand on this podcast that some of the best times that you've had in that were on those sex events that you were out there. But let me give you some context.
It's fun.
You have some of the biggest personalities in social media for golf out there. Paige Spironic, obviously, being the number one. She's got the largest following both on Instagram, YouTube. You have Tisha Allen with trick shots. You've got and she's now a Top Golf ambassador. You have Tanya Terr, who is the queen of trick shots. You have Haley Ostrom, who has one of the largest YouTube followings, which with her, play a hole with me every day. You've got the ladies that can play that are doing videos every day. Bree Tressy, Gabby Girl, Gabriella.
She's got a great that girl's got a great personality.
Super sweet. Had a chance to see her at the Creator Classic. She was super sweet. You have Lucy Robson, Caitlin Henderson, Sabrina Andolfo, who played here in Atlanta at the Creator Classic, and the rest. They've got the Golf Girl Games. If you've ever seen that, that's an interesting little watch on YouTube. With her, Marissa, Alex, and and Kaylin. But if our goal,
so what we're saying is there's a lot of good golfing influences out there, but there's not a lot of good golfing
we're
players.
not doing anything on the LPGA Tour to highlight the actual women that can play some really good golf.
Fact. Well, I think this year's been very different because there's been no standout, there's been no superstar, there's been no Nelly Korda. People aren't interested to see if Nelly Korda is going to win 7, 8 times because she's not where she was. Created a little bit of a buzz, but there's no real superstar out there. And if there is, there's a lot of foreign players, a lot of Asian players that people don't know. But the LPGA are not trying to get you to know them. They're just happy to run an event and say that person won, and then move on.
That's
a little interview, and that's it.
That's kind of my point. And part of this is, like, and you and I, and this is one thing that we didn't talk about on the last podcast, when you and James and I and Chris had a chance to get out and play. One of the things we were talking about, obviously James's daughter is really good. She's one of the top amateur players here in the state. She's just got an amazing offer to go to App State to play. But when I look at you mentioned Nelly and Jessica Korda. Now you've got two sisters that are super personable, attractive. They're funny. We're doing nothing to promote them. Charlie Hall, who is an absolute gem, funnier than all can be. Should be a stand-up comedian, by the way. And then Lilia Vu, and Gino. Gino is funny if you listen to some of her press conferences and some of her post stuff. Funny stuff, but we're getting nothing.
You get nothing.
Lee, again, great personalities. They do a ton on social, yet we're doing nothing to promote it.
Well, you have to promote a lot of the Asian players too, but unfortunately, a lot of the Asian players get so locked in about what they're doing, and having seen it firsthand, is they're so, and this has been their upbringing, is the work ethic, is they get out there, they work, they go to the range, they work, and then they get up and do that again the next day. They're very robotic. Yeah. There's no real great personality into them. Sometimes the English doesn't help because, obviously they speak little English or broken English, which doesn't help when you're trying to do the interviews. And they're just so into their work routines and what they do, and it's just golf, that there's no other social side of it. That's where the LPGA are missing out. They need to promote a better social side of it so people can see who these players are.
Do you think that there's going to be an effort in 26 to help these women out?
I would hope so. I mean, when I caddied for Michelle Wee, she was like the biggest name in women's golf for ever.
Yeah.
For a long time. So, she could draw a crowd. We had galleries everywhere we went. She could draw a crowd because people knew who she was. And she was very personal. She signed autographs. She spoke to people. She would take photos. She was very personal. She was great to interview. She was fantastic. She was good for the game.
Yeah. So Annika Swarm.
Not seeing that anymore. Annika, you're not seeing that anymore.
No, and her and her husband have the show on PGA Tour radio, but it's different when you do a show. You and I know this now firsthand. Our personality, you have to put certain part of our personalities, we put it aside. Obviously there's a part of it to showcase, but then there's also that fun part that, I wish we had a crew like some of these creators have to be out there with us. We would have had some great content from last week when we were out playing. Look, think about Monday. We're going to be out playing together with a group.
At this stage, I'm playing. Put it that way. I'm day to day.
You may be caddying.
I'm day to day at the moment. I'm working hard.
All right. Well, we're going to touch on it in a second. I think one of the things that, and part of the feedback that we've gotten from our listeners and the ones that are tuning in is, more course management stuff. You and I are kind of started spitballing some ideas on Monday night when we were at the game about what we're going to do. As we get more into the off season, obviously like this week, the PGA boys are off, but we've got the DP guys. So maybe next week we work on, we can talk about some course management stuff and some stuff to start working on during the off season. But the things that you and I love.
Well, you've seen my course management firsthand.
I have, and it's amazing. But that's what our listeners, that's what the content is leading us to. But you have to deliver it also in a manner which isn't dry and stuffy and boring. So
if you let me swear, this would be amazing.
executive producer Kim will not let you do that.
They can see the real. They can see the real side of me.
Neither will the folks at Spotify or YouTube. So we don't want to be disbanded before we get there. Okay. So we'll come back to how we grow the game on that side. Mick.
Yeah.
Here it is. You ready?
Yep. Was that the curveball you were going to throw at me?
Yes.
Okay. I hit it.
Yes. You drove a line drive.
Unlike the Brewers hitters.
Or our Cubs and Tigers.
Whoa. Easy. It's over. Football season.
You've pivoted. Great. Well, speaking of football season, good segue, Mick.
No, not bad, huh?
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Your record so far, sir, through 6 weeks of the NFL schedule, 28-19. I am 26-21. So you have a 2-game lead. Obviously, your Super Bowl pick winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading at 5-1. Let me ask you this. Your biggest surprises so far through 6 weeks of the season?
Jacksonville.
My Jacksonville Jags.
Jacksonville surprised me. I'd have to say Baltimore.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine is the Ravens, really bad, 1-5, and at the bottom of the division with the Browns.
Yeah, with a bazillion injuries and nothing to look forward to, this season is officially over.
There's nobody that comes back from 1-5 and makes the postseason.
No, it's over. And Lamar Jackson's still out injured. So yeah, they're toast. They're done.
Here's another one for me: the Colts.
Yeah,
are they really this? I'm going to ask this question: are they really this good under Daniel Jones under center, or is it just a product of a lower seeded schedule?
I think it could be a bit of both, but Daniel Jones he's doing exceptionally well, and their running game is very, very, very good with Mr. Taylor. They're running the ball, but he's always been good. But Daniel Jones he's not making mistakes. He's just doing I think it's a well-coached football team.
The last one I had, which pains me slightly, the New England Patriots, who are leading the division in the AFC East.
Yeah. How is that AFC East looking?
Well, you've got the Pats at 4-2, and you got the Buffalo Bills at 4-2, which both you and I took Buffalo. We were looking really good there for the first couple few weeks of the season.
How are the Jets looking?
I was wondering if anyone wanted to bring up the Kansas City refs. I mean the Chiefs. But
are you on that bandwagon too?
No, I honestly I think that's a joke. I think if you went through and watched,
because they had no penalties last week.
Well, okay,
It's a well played football game.
Really?
They certainly weren't the same. They certainly weren't the same refs that were doing the Georgia Auburn game.
Ooh. Oh, that was a clap. That's a clap.
Oh, was it a clap? Okay, clap. I'm clapping.
Clap.
Yeah,
I'm clapping. Can't you see? I love Kirby. Go Dogs. Sick 'em.
My Huskers are ranked.
So, football. I want to thank you again for joining me Monday night. That was a lot of fun.
I want to thank you. I had a great time. It was good.
One of our better sweet nights.
It was a wonderful sweet night.
We had some fun in there. You got a chance to hang out with Young Dro.
I did.
How did you like that?
I didn't know who he was.
Maybe I'll play some bumper music for us.
I didn't know who. What was his name? Young what?
Young Dro.
Yeah, I didn't know. Very nice fella.
Awesome.
I had no idea who he was. We were just
awesome
having a chat.
Guy. And obviously that's Dro was with one of my good friends and one of our on-air personalities on V103, Greg Street. By the way, Grammy award-winning Greg Street. So that was a lot of fun. Mick, we have a big tournament Monday.
Yeah, we do. Gustin's golf tournament, baby.
Are you ready?
Not day to day right now.
We're day to day.
The knee is day to day.
So we're looking at the injury, the report list.
The injury report. So I have not hit a golf shot since we played with James. No, not one.
Well, here's the good news. Neither have I.
Well, yeah, until maybe tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. No, I'm not. I got other things that just came up. But what do I need?
I thought you might be going to the range tomorrow. That's all.
Well, I was supposed to actually play at Bobby Jones out there, but we had to make a family adjustment for tomorrow. What do I need to expect from this tournament?
A hangover.
Oh, I already have one of those this week. I only have them allotted one.
If there's a golf tournament that you'll play, where you've never seen so much alcohol in your life, it's this one.
Oh boy. Okay.
All 18 holes will have something alcohol related on it.
Is this another 49 is the winning score type of outing, or is it going to be a little bit more realistic?
It'll be a lot more realistic than that.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have anything?
No, I thought I did, but I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. It
must be because I'm drinking water today. For all those people who say I don't drink water, who've been yelling at me that I don't drink enough water, this is my first bottle this month, and I'm going to work on it. We
are not sponsored by Coca-Cola or the Dasani Water Company. This is.
I didn't mention them.
Well, no, you is that your notes too?
Oh no, it's probably a bill. Nah, it's a bill.
The joys of recording live from home. Okay. Well, the PGA boys are off next week.
Did you find out where they're playing in India?
I will find out for you.
You've got a computer in front of you.
Oh, hang on, hold on. I'll take a quick look while I'm at it because I've got all.
Because I'm in India, having caddied in India, you've got to be very careful with some of the things you do over there, eating wise, drinking wise.
The World India Championship is played at the Delhi Golf Club.
I have caddied at the Delhi Golf Club.
Really?
I have caddied at the Delhi Golf Club.
Well, this is something definitely not on our list, but if you want to talk to us about the...
well, I will next week when we're all done. I have caddied at the Delhi Golf Club. I caddied there for Mr. Daniel Chopra. And
that is a good way, sir, for us, because it was going to be a little bit about the pro guys and a lot about us next week. So with that, Thanks for teeing up with us. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button, especially if you want to leave a comment. Do us a favor, subscribe. We love to hear from you. You can find every episode where you find your favorite podcasts: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, of course on the Odyssey app, and now available on iHeart Podcasts. Just search under podcasts for Tales from the Tips. Hit the plus button, the thumbs up button, subscribe, enjoy. Mick's playing with a bottle of ancient something or other. Once again,
that's my phone holder.
You can catch all of our content on social media. Check out Mick just made the naughty list, so to speak. We are on Instagram, X, and Mick's favorite,
TikTok.
And of course, you can usually watch this unless Twitch is being a problem like it is today. Live on the Twitch. Just follow our schedule when we are recording. And Mick, you can catch all of our shorts and other content on YouTube. Well, buddy, I'm looking forward to Monday. We've got a late Sunday night. I'm going to have to be able to function for Monday Night Football because I got to watch what's going to happen up in Detroit. Our Lions are taking on Tampa Bay, and we need our Lions to win.
I'm calling Vegas right now that you don't see the end of that game.
Am I going to see the beginning of the game? That is the question.
Nope.
Okay. We hope you keep your drive straight, your putt short, and your scores low as you tee it up on Tales from the Tips. We'll see you next time.
See you next week. Tales from the Tips.